Hi legends, what I'm about to show you is absolutely unbelievable. It took me so many hours to prepare this for you guys to actually digest the biggest Diablo Immortal patch notes that I ever seen in an easier and simpler way so you guys understand. So please do me a small favor, don't forget to actually go get comfortable, get a drink, get a coffee, and drop that like and subscribe button of course, and let's dive into these patch notes because they went literally everywhere inside the game and they are actually changing core things. So let's start of course here with the new code. If you guys are coming here just for the new code, it is gonna be the Flash Harvest. It's gonna be staying from September 25th to October 8th, and it's gonna be 1 legendary crest and 3 aquamarines, 3 sapphires. So they actually learned to give us like the blue gem, so it's nice, and 2 legendary items. So if you guys can redeem inside the game or in Diablo Immortal redeem. Now of course we're gonna have here the badass, you know, Albert, which we're gonna go hunt him down, try to prepare the troops to have the new quest. It's gonna be some 20 minutes of fun, and that's pretty much it. New legendary gems, well, we got new information that was already on the patch notes for the China, that they are saying that we're gonna have a 10% chance to apply a debuff on the target, that whenever you're gonna change between your offensive and defensive stance, you're gonna get some damage reduction or some increased damage on the target depending on it is, and also it is gonna apply a lot of AoE damage. So a lot of people have been asking me if this is a good gem. I believe that especially for PvE, the fact that you're also having the 10% chance, which is a lot in Diablo Immortal because we do like trillion of hits like in 1 second, I am pretty sure that you're gonna instantly apply this legendary gem. Also, we don't know if this 10% is actually gonna get increased. Also, Blizzard gonna be shady, like why they did not give us like the percentage. Maybe they are still tweaking things, but I feel like this is gonna be absolutely golden in PvE because of the AoE ability that also is gonna add whenever you have like a pack of mobs and you apply all the debuffs in all of them, and they are the AoE, they start doing damage, and also you're gonna have the increased damage boost on them. So it's just like it goes nuts, right? And on top of that, if you want to play tank or you want to be a bit more defensive, you can still apply to PvP. So I think it's one of the most complete gems that is coming to the game, and it is pretty normal. Like, it's a power creep happening. It is 2025, and these new gems will absolutely be more powerful than others. Then we have here the Fading Nostrum, which is pretty much whenever you're gonna take damage, you're gonna have a buff that's gonna reduce the damage that you take from continuous damage effect, and also increase your block to projectiles. If it seems kind of okay, maybe if you want to build as a tank. We have the Mountain Toe, which is going to reduce the critical hit damage that you take, and also increases, of course, the critical resistance. They might be one of the most interesting gems. Also, I put out here the resonance gems below for all of them. Now we have here the important things. We are having very big Shadow War changes. So now the clans are going to be able to have 2 matches per week, and they're going to earn by points. So if you win, you win 3 points. If you lose, you get 1 point, and at the end the top 10 clans, they will fight in the tournament. You're going to be able to register on the tournament, and if you already have 30 players registered, it will automatically register, which is really nice. Then there's going to be like new matchmaking rules. So basically they're going to make that you know, people are being starting to face not only by power but also by the resonance, and also like the points that the clan is having. So it's going to be like quite cool. Maybe it's going to be better for the competitiveness of the game. It is the Swiss tournament system that a lot of other games are being applying, and of course if by the end you are in the top of 10 clans, you're gonna earn the legendary crest that you already did, and if you are in the top 20, well, you still get the legendary crest voucher that you can actually get it from the Hilt Trader. So pretty nice changes. Hopefully it's gonna be for the best and turn, you know, Shadow Wars a bit more competitive. Then we have here shadow contracts. They've been simplified, so basically now instead of being 9, it's gonna be 6, and instead of taking like 162 hours, it's just gonna take 108. So I think like this is so much better, and now the contracts will be available twice a week and increase the rewards for the activity points from 20 to 30, and also having the gold and XP boost that you're gonna earn from the contracts has been boosted by 50%. So basically it is to compensate, you know, the reduction of the contracts that you have. Yeah, good changes. I mean, contracts, you basically just send the pets and that's it. Now, one of the biggest and the most exciting changes coming for Shadows is that now your level clan cap is gonna be raised up to 24. now also gonna have these cloaks that they are gonna be, you have to re-earn it like every season. So you start without a cloak whenever you're gonna be the shadow, and then later on you keep getting the first cloak, the second, and finally the third one for the remaining of the reign. I feel like this is quite cool. It gives shadows some purpose, and maybe it's gonna make people to become more active. Especially they also rebalance like the existing clan buffs, the ones that you keep unlocking over time. And also you're gonna have a new shadows activity, which is gonna be the Kebas ordeal, that 4 players will strike down 2 bosses. So it's gonna be like similar to Keon's. It's gonna have some affixes, the same as challenge dungeons, and the first time of the week that you're gonna kill him, well, you're gonna get higher rewards and marks, similar to Keon's as well. Now let's go here, assembly changes, and oh my god, all right boys, now the blessings have been reduced from 2 minutes to 1 minute, so it is gonna be way quicker. I just hope that in the future they can make this just like 24/7, but now also it's gonna be like way clear for you who's gonna receive the like initial blessing, so then you can actually propagate and give like to the others. So well, very good changes, but I think they can still like do better. But these from 2 minutes to 1 minute, thumbs up, I really like it. Now let's go here for especially the officers and clan leaders. Now you guys gonna be able to export the member data with the combat resonance, also the attributes, the combat power stats. So finally, because I know it is such a struggle for the officers that keep asking the clan members to fill up like these spreadsheets, and it is so boring, and it is boring for both parties, for the players, also for the officers. So really cool changes. I'm glad they are actually expanding on these. There's gonna be a history that's for all the members that are joining, leaving, and all these things. You're gonna be able to send a bulk mail depending on which rank the member is at. So for example, if they are slacking on the shadow rank, you can send them, hey guys, wake up, time to go and do your shadow activities. So we can go to top 3 or something. So very cool. Filtering and sorting option by level and resonance. So you're gonna now be able to see who's the top dog, the real top dog on your clan, just by filtering by resonance. And you can now also have substitute players from the register pool. So this is like on Sundays, on whenever players are like going for the Rite of Exiles, you can also swap them with the active members if someone else is missing in the match. So very cool changes, and I think this is gonna actually help a lot of the clans, especially the top ones. Now we're gonna have here something that I hope that in the future they keep bringing improvements, which is the warbands. The warbands, in my opinion, it is one of my favorite systems came to the game. And now the remnants are also gonna drop whenever you're doing daily querying raids, but you need to have more than 4 or more players from your warband to get the highest quality drops. And if you have fewer, well, you're gonna still get them, but it's gonna have the chances diminish. A set of the remains that will drop in the eloquent raid, they will be picked for one specific role. So it's like one like it's gonna be attack, or the, the defensive or support or whatever, and they are gonna be for the warband, not for your character specific. Remnants can only drop on your first 5 clears, so on Monday or a Thursday or whenever they reset, you have 5 tries. Whenever you kill the 5 bosses, you're gonna be able to get these. So this is really good, and I wish that this was in the game for a longer time, because farming those purge of the deeps, it is such a struggle. Now the remnants rooms have been removed, so you don't need to go protector or attacker. Now it's just gone, and basically you're gonna be able to select the combination of the remnants that you want to have. And that's pretty much it. So if you want to go, for example, with this one that has the shepherds and the shield and all these things, you select this one, or you select the attacker. You don't have to do like these extra clicks, which was very annoying. But still, the warband leader, it is the one that determines which are the remnants that will go in each role. So they are just like simplifying a bit the system. So very cool. Now we have here vault updates. This, it is massive, guys. Cheat Dead and the Savior will now reset their cooldowns upon the existing vault. Man, it only took 3 years. Oh my god, Jesus, I've been playing this game not for that long, and I know it is a problem. So I am so glad to see these. It's gonna make it like things way more competitive. They are definitely making huge changes here on the vault. Now the vault also has a chance to spawn elite and rare monsters inside the vault as the immortal rank keeps increasing. The shadows will now that they are waiting for a longer period can also go without a full party inside the vault, and this is also very big. Heals earned whenever the immortals are defeated in the vault has been increased from 200 heals to 350, so you're gonna be able to do it like very quickly, and even if you lose you get 200. So basically you get from a loss versus the immortal, you still get the same as you did in the past. But that's not all. This is my opinion. One of the biggest changes is that now whenever you go as a shadow, when the first floor right next to it, there's gonna be a hidden passage, and this is gonna be able for you to skip directly to the 4th floor. So no longer you actually have to go through the mobs and go to the 3rd floor and leave, because like this takes a lot of time. So now basically you take the hidden passage, you skip, even if you're not gonna be able to compete against the immortals, it is still gonna be faster because you're still gonna earn all the chest rewards from the first 3 floors just by doing that. I feel like this is definitely, they found a way to incentivize shadows to start going to the 4th floor, even if it is just like, you know, try to do something, probably this is gonna be demolished, but a lot of times there are still some very strong shadows they can actually do and have a bit more fun. I feel like this, one of the biggest changes. I think the vault is gonna become like way quicker to do your weeklies, you know, cap, but also it's gonna become way more fun to defend the vault as an immortal, because it's not gonna be such a big of a hassle for you to just like stay in queue like 5 minutes or 10 minutes sometimes just to wait for the one time to go there and defend the vault, right? What I just feel like they still need to fix is to keep the incentive for shadows to keep going to vault after they got their weekly caps, because that's like what I still feel like there is no real incentive to keep going after that. So let's see how it's gonna be. And then it's saying here that if you chose to open a chest on the 1st floor, the hidden pass will be closed. So if someone is rushing it and you guys don't take the hidden pass right at the start, basically it's gonna shut down and you have to do the normal vault as we always did. But here's the thing, if you guys want to use the hidden passage, be aware, because the Vault Guardian now is going to have this increased strength. So basically the one at the end on the 4th is going to be way stronger. Above all, big changes, I love it. Familiar changes, they are also coming. Also another big W, this is so good because look at here. Now, after you convert, you're actually gonna be able to select not the new one, because before there was a huge gamble. You convert 3 and then sometimes you get like this one that you, oh my god, why did I do that? No, now you actually, whenever you convert, you can take the new one, or you can select here with the arrows one of the 3 that you used as materials. So very good. I like this change, I liked it a lot, and this applies to aberrant convergence using the conversion stone. So even when you're gonna use the conversion stones to save your legendary skills, well, it's still gonna work. So very good changes. Now let's go here into the conversion outcome. The aberrant familiars will now often receive 2 or fewer red/gold passive skills. So we're talking about these ones because it is a huge problem. Whenever you have a familiar pet that has like 4, 5 or even 6 skills, it gets like extremely expensive on the action out, and it is pretty much impossible to sell. And they also say that if you're not using a conversion stone during the aberrant conversion, if your familiar has only 1 legendary skill, so like these ones, the minimum quality of skills for the newly converted familiar will be adjusted to the 6 magical skills. So very good changes here for the familiar. Also, we have the familiar market on Nisa, wherever you're actually gonna go and get your familiar countries you buy on the NPC. And so very good changes here for the familiars. We also gonna have that familiars on the market on the action nows. As I was saying, whenever you have like many rare passives, it gets like extremely expensive. So because of that, they are also adjusting the probability of the distribution, the passive skills on the aberrant familiar generating from the normal conversion. So basically they are gonna make this in a system in a way that you actually not gonna get, you know, many pets during the conversion that then you can actually not sell to make some extra plant, because that's a way that a lot of like these free-to-play players, they make their money still. And this change does not affect the overall drop rate for the aberrant familiars, only the distribution of the passive skills. So basically they are saying that They are not gonna increase the chance of you getting an aberrant pet whenever you convert normal. It is just like the distribution of the skill. So now here we have another change here on the familiar shop. Whenever you guys go to Nisa, pretty much you have all these pets. It's a lot of people, they go and they buy it and try to make some plat. But now this is actually gonna have the refresh timer is gonna be displayed. You're not gonna have to camp the shop to when it's gonna refresh or not. And within the first 10 seconds the store being refreshed, there's gonna be like this, all those people like going to buy and try to buy. So it's gonna go into a bidding process, and hopefully you're gonna get lucky, and the highest price that the familiar with one legendary skill or less has been updated to a price more accurate and easier to sell in turn. So basically it feels like they are saying that it's gonna be cheaper, so you can do and get some plat out of the action house. Because sometimes what happens, you buy it and you go on the action house like, so I actually not gonna be able to sell it, so then you keep it, or if you have to sell, it's gonna be for less plat than the one that you actually gonna receive. And have in mind that the action house always have the 15% Blizzard commission, so yeah, you have to put that in count. The freeze period following a familiar trade also has been extended to 7 days. So I feel like this probably to try to combat like a lot of like, you know, the plat exchange between alts and the main, these bot farmers and all these things. I feel like that's the reason why they did this. 7 days, it is quite a lot though. Now let's go here. New feature, war games. Now you're gonna be able to do PvP custom games. You're gonna have 2 maps only, Destruction Call and also the Tower War. Up to 12 players on the map, and also spectator mode. More details. So basically you're gonna have these war game settings that you can put, like for example in this lobby, you can put a password, you can select the mode that you want, the time, the points, and also if you're gonna enable the flag or not. So it is very custom, so very nice. Maybe, you know, can make like the Indez PvP tournament. There's gonna be 3 modes, which is the Destruction Call. So it is exactly the same in Ancient Scrandle. You're gonna have the capture the flag, you have to fight the guys, if it's gonna be 4 points, all these things. You have this other one, is called the Slayer, which is the same map as Destruction Call, but literally just deathmatch, just everyone just like going against each other. So Destruction Call is up to 12 versus 12 players. The Tower War is going to be exactly as you know the Tower War, up to 8 versus 8, and the maximum lobby of players that can be, it is actually 40. So basically you can have, for example, the 16 players playing in the Tower War, and I believe that then you can have the other 24 players spectating. So this is gonna be like really nice. Maybe we can find, and I really hope that it's gonna be like cross region. They don't say here, but I really hope, because if it is only inside the server, it is a bit, you know, is okay, but it will be nice if we can actually do like some cross like region competitions. I think that will be insane for the community. Now there's also here, war games will have the strife debuff, and they're gonna be active, which reduces the bonus of legendary gems and other sorts. So pretty much the same as the battlegrounds. Now another thing, well, we're gonna have some freebies from October 1st to October 15th. You log in, you're gonna do like this small quest, and you're gonna get pretty much your legendary crest, some moonlight floras and all this good stuff. There is gonna be the new battle pass cosmetic. This is the only image that we have right now. It looks kind of cool, not gonna lie, but it is still a phantom cosmetic, and well, for $5 you guys can get this. Or if you guys are really rich, or you are a Diablo partner like myself, well, there is this new one, the Skyborn Scourge, a Phantom Market, which is pretty much inspired on the Valkyries, and honestly, I don't know what to think. I mean, I think it looks kind of sick. I mean, like, this Demon Hunter is absolutely freaking jacked. I guess like he went like through a very like a tough turn. Looking at these abs reminds me, man, I need to start working out a bit more, man. Like, it's going out of control, this belly. Anyways, yeah. So you're gonna be able to have this kind of cool. We need to see it in game, because in game like they always look like very different. This is actually not like the best screenshot to actually see it, but there is something new that is gonna come into these Phantom Cosmetics, which they are adding music. Actually, they are adding background music to the skin. So basically the Phantom Cosmetics, as you guys can see here, they have like multiple like songs that you can play, and basically also other players can listen to it from the selected badge music. You'll be able to toggle on and off. I mean, it's okay. I feel like this is cool. Nothing like game breaking, but better than probably not having it at all. I'm actually very surprised to see the Berserker one, so I kind of want to know they actually are getting like a song from like the anime or not. Then we have here balance changes, ladies and gentlemen. This is the time that a few classes will get buffed and a few classes will get nerfed. So hear me out. Balance changes here for the Barbarian. The follow field whirlwind that consumes your life now also is gonna increase the damage that it does up to 36%. This is absolutely crazy, and I believe that this most likely is gonna be a buff. And we actually, on the current whirlwind build, we're probably gonna switch out to this because, you know, we already have the attack speed coming from the helmet and you actually don't need it. So have an increased damage coming from the whirlwind probably is gonna be better, and you don't have to literally do anything. You don't have more channeling. You pretty much just can like spin to win forever. The only thing, Blizzard, you have to switch is like, let us buff up while we are in the whirlwind state. Okay, once you do that, I will forgive you, but until then is no real spin to win because we need to go out and in from the whirlwind. Still good change and good improvement. But with this being said, I kind of wish that we had like some small buffs for Barb. I mean, Barb is not like doing that bad, but I mean, playing with that demo bot build, it is like looking like a dummy in these days because everyone is dashing around and the Barb is like, oh, like, you know, like he's trying to reach, and by the time he reaches to the target, like the demon hunter already flopped, already dashed, and then you have like these werewolves, they are going this and that, and then like you see your Barb is like, is getting so confused with the Autobot. It is a mess. Hopefully they actually gonna do something about it. Now we have here the Blood Knight. It is also getting a few changes, a few buffs, and I think at least like this one here on the base skill for the Abomination, that your primary attacks and non-channel skills will be increased by 100% the regeneration of the anger. So this seems like it's gonna be easier for you to proc it. And then they are actually also doing here on the Oberlance and all this good stuff. Then we have here more changes here for the Crusader. So basically a lot of like judgment and concentration changes that they are applying. And the one that really caught my eye was this one here, the Cavalry Courtier, that pretty much the draw and quarter now is gonna knock the enemies airborne while trample them, and you are immune to knockback effects, and you cannot be dismounted by the total loss of control. But additionally, you're also gonna have 45% damage reduction from skills, and also deal 45% reduced damage with the skill while mounted. So basically, I have been, you know, trying to fulfill this fantasy of using the mount for Crusader inside the battlegrounds because I just feel like it looks pretty cool. And finally we're gonna have like some movement speed or maybe like some dashes, because the mobility of the Crusader is like one of the things that I think like whenever I am playing like the Crusader, it feels like kind of bad with, like compared to playing any other class. However, the Pikachu build, it is doing quite well. So maybe some new meta will come from these balance changes. Then we're gonna have here also some changes for Demon Hunter, and surprisingly no nerfs for Demon Hunter. Okay, so that's very surprising, but they are actually buffing here the sentries, so they are actually gonna be able to freeze the smoke screen. The explosions also is gonna be increased to 75%, and also we have here this knife trap where the emulation traps can now overlap and the enemies will take more damage from the individual traps. So basically if you put like 3 traps in the same place and they are gonna come and they get the 3 traps, most likely you're gonna have this overlap of damage, and can actually be quite tricky. Then you have here Druid. Well, we all know that the Druid, it has been absolutely crazy. So they are making a few changes and they are making a few nerfs. So if you see here, the Yawning Maw, which is the Fire Summoning Grizzly, now the Fire Pets, and actually they are taking less 50% damage from players. But let's be honest, nobody's using the summons. Like the summons have so many problems in this game, like gems, they do not work, they don't get like damage to loss of control damage. There's like so many substats that don't work with it. So please, we need people like in the Blizzard to fix summons because they are actually one of the coolest archetypes, like right in the whole history of like any game that everyone loves to play summons. So we actually need to fix that. But also we have here the Flash in Fertile Ground, that Thorn's armor is now gonna be the toggle on and off. If you guys remember, that used to be like this damage reduction. So now you're gonna be able to consume a primal power and grant your attack speed to allies and continual damage to nearby enemies. So you're gonna have an attack speed and also do some AoE damage. So I mean, this is kind of interesting. You have here the nerfs. The Cedra King, the Summons Oak Sage, that it was gonna give you these like protective shields, like it's gonna give you damage reduction and total loss of control immunity. And he's 3 charges and he has like such a short cooldown. So now they are actually increasing the cooldown to 15 seconds, and they also are nerfing the Wild Brute, which is the ancestor in the head, the Infernal 8, that pretty much makes the werewolf like just start dashing around. They are also increasing that up to 9 seconds. So this is some meaningful nerfs, so probably the mobility and the survivability of the, the werewolf in general, or also, the druid itself might be, a bit less, because obviously we know that, druid right now, it is quite overtuned. So I'm glad to see like some changes, so to maybe just balance it out a bit, the meta. But I feel like what is going to happen, if it actually is really bad, people are just gonna go from the druid back to the demon hunter. That's how it's gonna be. Now we have here the monk. Well, monk in the past, it got nerfed, right? We had the helicopter build with the driven thunder is the one that helicopter, right? Like you guys know that. So now they are bringing it back, that the Cyclone Strike is gonna be a channeling skill. We already know that. And you're gonna have your damage increase up to 48%. And while channeling, you're gonna be immune to knockback effect. So probably, I would love that this build will come back. It was so fun. It was like literally the most fun I ever had in Monk, and I'm so upset that they actually nerfed it, because since then it is not as fun to play as it used to be, not only in PvE but also in PvP. Like the helicopter was just the best. Now let's go here. We have the Necromancer. 10 Thorns, the corpse lance is now going to consume the nearby corpses, and it's going to last to the target location. The soul leave the bond spirits now unleash a wave of spirits that damage and fear the enemies. We'll have to see. This probably can be quite interesting, but in general, I feel like Necromancer, I am just like really bored of like the current meta. They've been stuck on this meta for the longest time, and I definitely think like maybe guys hoping that in Inferno 9 we're gonna have some meaningful changes, especially in PvE. Whew. Now let's go here into our boy Tempest. Well, Tempest, it has been around the block. Also another hard stock class that I played recently. They are still playing with the skin partner, but they are trying to make here a few changes on the wind walk that's gonna empower your attack speeds while you get like the shield and immunity to knockbacks. Running surf now is gonna empower your engines, grants you immunity to loss of control and knockback, while you and your Zephyr's primary attacks starts sweeping sword slashes. Okay, so this may be interesting, but the thing is like, is this gonna replace the skin partner? That's like where I always have a problem, because that specific answers is just so good. It's just so good to use. Then we have Harmonious casting. The Squall now makes you untargetable, and it will cause you and your Zephyrs to dash forward, so pretty much it's gonna increase your primary attack speed. It's not like primary attack speed, it is something that Tempest is lacking. Most of the answers, they actually do that, so we'll see. Balance changes here coming for the Wizard. Veil of Draws, so the Ice Crystal now is gonna have their duration increased. I don't think that anyone is using this nowadays. Maybe a very casual player. Searing Judgment, Disintegrate is now gonna channel fire and burn up to 5 times. Okay, interesting. Entropic Edge, the Disintegrate and damage now is being increased from 2.5 from each yard between you and the target up to 20%. Wait, alright, okay, so this is a buff for the Disintegrate. I don't know if like this is actually like really that meaningful to change like things, but well, we'll have to see. But what he actually can be game changing, because we've been asking for matchmaking. It's always been a major problem when it comes to Diablo Immortal, right? We all know how bad it is, but they are saying that now we actually gonna have some proper changes on the matchmaking, also the team distribution. So the matchmaking system will now make sure that melee heavy classes, so Barbarian and also maybe the Druid or and also Crusader, right? I don't think Tempest is gonna be there. It's not heavy enough, right? Are more evenly spread out between both teams, creating a more balanced and strategic experience for everyone. So this is very good. We've been asking this for forever, man. Whenever sometimes you have, like the other day, I was in convoy and I was facing like a team with like 7 tanks, and we literally had no tanks. It's just like it just can't like they just keep coming and coming and coming, and you cannot like sit on the idle the same way as they can. So basically they just brute force, and it's very hard to actually go against it. This system is actually going to be so much better at evaluating like the combat resonance and the overall class balance to generate opposite teams that's going to be more evenly matched. We will see. Honestly, I will wait and see, okay? Because recently, outside the unstoppable bar change, it was great. So much better. But this matchmaking, it has always been an issue. I don't know if he's gonna solve it, but, well, we'll wait and see. Blood Knight Abomination updates, so basically they are gonna make it easier for you to get into the Abomination skill. Very nice. Codex activity changes. Now you can actually filter from all activities to the weekly and the daily. Maybe like for casual players that don't know what they actually have to do. Now you're gonna be able to filter. So quite nice change. Now this, in my opinion, boys, it is another big W. Small annoyance like these actually make things so much better. So the Terror Rifts party optimization, whenever you join to a Terror Rift in a full party, there's going to be an additional option that you're going to be able to quick join, which automatically connects all the other players together. And using this function will make the new entry of Party Finder tab, making it easier to find groups or the Terror Rifts. Basically, you know, they are making it easier for you to group and to join everyone in the same team. We all know the struggles to get into a party sometimes. Quality of life changes on the social updates. So now basically you guys know, like, sometimes you can miss like these messages. They are like people that you know, they send the chat. It's like, oh, why are you not answering? And that's because it doesn't appear, or it just appears whenever you log in and you log out. So now they are actually making sure that on the PC there's gonna be a new chat bubble that will appear under the unread direct message, and on mobile there's gonna be an unread message that also is gonna show. The block list has been expanded past the previous 100 players cap. Oh my god, we can finally start blocking once again Susan and the Plat Sailors and all these annoying ass bots in the world chat. God, man, it's so annoying. Anyways, glad for this big change. Player class information now has been added on the player profile. So basically, because people were using like these World of Warcraft profile pictures that the people don't know if they were a barb or not. So now it's going to show the class. Really nice. The chat system will now offer some prompts with a few hand-picked conditions. So if your inventory is going to be full, there's going to be a message that's going to appear like, oh, I have to go and whatever, right? So nice for that, so you don't have to type and be quicker. Now we are also fixing some issues that error was gonna whenever someone was trying to view the profile from another, you know, a different server cluster. Also fixed the issue that the party voice script will not turn off. That's very upsetting. And also the notification couldn't be dismissed after messaging a friend. So really nice. Now we have here another big updates. So the team up systems updates will display the class so you can see which you are actually going and see. There's also going to be an application timeout. So you guys know when you've been in a party, you're spamming something and then someone on your party, you know, leaves, and now you're like with 3 or 2 members, and you go into the applications and you see all the applications of the people that actually already applied. And a lot of times it's just like, bro, the guy applied like 1 hour ago and he's still on the application. So it is kind of weird. So I'm glad that they actually are automatically expiring after 30 minutes. So really good. They're also gonna have the new auto accepted team invites for and objectives. So basically now this is gonna just be easier for you to accept, like auto accept the friends whenever they meet the certain requirements, and it will stay that way. They're also improving the initial chat experience, so will automatically lower the in-game sounds whenever someone is speaking. Honestly, from all these years playing these, I don't think I ever heard anyone's playing, but I know it is very comfortable because a lot of people, they just chat through the game if they are running dungeons. Some people, like myself, I use the Discord, so, you know, that's just how it is. But I'm glad that this is inbuilt inside the game. They're also fixing the issue where the chat button in the dungeon interface will not appear, and the other one that whenever you're changing the tabs will also, you know, appear a bug. Another change, big changes, as you guys can see, it's like back to back changes. Replay random dungeons, it's finally not only for 4 people. Now, even if you are alone, or if you actually are with 2 or 3 people, you still gonna be able to, whenever you see the portal at the end of the dungeon, just click on it. You don't have to leave and go back in. No, you literally just click on the continue to random dungeon. Jesus, how long does it took to make these like changes, man? It's insane. It's nice, but at the same time, it's like, why did it took so long, right? Nice to see. Dungeons improvements, boys. We have here a few more, so let's go. The general flow of the improvements. Hear me out. This is something that we've been asking for a very long time. For them to make dungeons much better, because they are extremely boring, they are extremely repetitive, they are a lot of like downtime, and we just want to blast. So they are reducing the amount of clicks needed to skip the dialogues and the cutscenes. Thumbs up. Like Kikura's Rapids, which is the one that you go on the river, remove the 4 seconds delay at the start, then also adjust the timing within the dungeons. So please make it way faster, like literally chop it in half, put like some big turbo, some motors on that, you know, the raft. I don't care if it's not gonna look cool. Just make that like go like flying flying through the boss. The pit, the most bugged dungeon in the game, seems like it is being fixed. A lot of the issues reported by the community, we are all like, we all saw those pit bugs, right? Silence Monastery, the teleport mechanic will no longer trigger early when the boss's health repels quickly. So basically, whenever you are killing the vampire lady or whatever is her name, she, if you do a lot of damage, she goes up, right? So probably now what I think is gonna happen, if you do a lot of damage, you're just gonna be able to one-shot her. That's huge. Probably it's gonna make this dungeon become one of the fastest together with Namari. The Dread's Reverence remove the additional Slayer dialogue. Oh my god, thank you. And please make that animation that the boat tumbles and all these things like way shorter. Like they said, like to shorten the necessary performance sequence, right? Just make it like we go on the boat then, oh my god, the guy comes, and then it teleports you into the down, and just it's like that dungeon, it is beautiful, okay? And I love the experience on all of these dungeons. On the first time I did on my campaign, it was, a lot of them was like, oh my god, like this is nice. But doing it for the campaign and doing it as a grind, it is completely different. One, you're absorbing the first experience, you experience the lore, you're looking at maybe you're even reading the scripts or you're listening to what they are saying. But after I saw it once, I don't need to see it again. I just want that gone. So please keep making these improvements. If it is already a good first step, and hopefully you guys can keep proceeding and improving the dungeons, because there's still a lot that I feel like it can also be improved. And guys, where is the new dungeon? Hey, where is the new dungeon? It's been 3 years, right? So, and I expect that whenever we're gonna have the new dungeon, that is not gonna come with all of these things that we've been complaining for years, okay? Please make the first very streamlined, fast, like Diablo-like dungeon that we always wanted. Let's go here to the last one. The Tritian Cathedral. Reduce the butcher invincibility time when it spawns, making the butchery more efficient. So basically he has like all that cutscene that it comes. So basically they are just like making it quite better. Also, they are changing here on the challenge dungeons affixes. They are making the sacrificial power be scaling over time, so it starts like very rough, but then as you keep dropping the health to 0 to 25%, and then it is pretty much like very small, not even like 1%. So it is nice because it's gonna make you tolerable, especially for builds like playing the wizard, like I was playing with the druid, and I was just dashing around, and it was like so annoying, because like whenever you have these sacrificial powers for these builds that you are spamming buttons, it was almost unplayable, and you're just like spamming your primary attack. If you're a wizard or a blood knight or whatever, like with these spam builds, you know what I'm talking about. New dungeons affixes is coming into the challenge dungeon. So the erratic assault, similar to the grid spoils, which is the golden portal that you skip to the boss. Now you're gonna have 3 additional portals that you're gonna have to face multiple bosses, and the boss difficulty will keep increasing throughout the dungeon. This is a chance to appear also in normal dungeons and also in the challenge dungeon. So really nice. It's nice whenever you can just skip, right? That's not sometimes what I want. Whenever I see a gold boss, I'm like, thank God. Okay, let's go. Let's just kill him. 30 seconds. It's done. It's really nice. So another feature that we have here, build recommendation. So now you're gonna be able to actually save unique builds and give them unique names and descriptions, so they're gonna be uploaded into this database, and it's gonna be able to share with others. So this might be massive, because imagine all the builds that I have on YouTube. Imagine if I can also put them on my character. I have like all these loadouts. I have like the farming build, the dungeon build, the PvP build. And if you guys want to follow me inside the game, you also can, and you can use the build directly. And you don't always need to go to YouTube, because I know that sometimes like that's harsh. But if you guys want to go to YouTube, I appreciate, because you know the thumbs up and the like and all these things. But regardless, whatever makes you more comfortable, I like this change. You will also gonna be able to track how many players are finding it useful, so there's like many hearts. So I feel like this is one of the best features, especially for the community. Then you can simply try a build on the recommendation system, and this is absolutely massive. So if you don't have the build, you can actually try out in a test room before settling on it. Wow, this is massive. So imagine you're not sure, or you don't have like the new instances or whatever. You can literally just test the build. How great is this? And then it's actually gonna give you like these tracking icons to know exactly which instances do you need or not. This is mega W. I love it. Everything about this, I feel like it is very player friendly, and even I'm gonna take a lot of advantage out of this. Now the new content, and this is oh man, this is the new content, guys. And when I mean new content, I don't mean like new cloaks. I mean like maybe adding something to the game, and I'll give my final thoughts. But this is gonna be the new thing, which is the cursed shrines that they are gonna spawn around the world, and then you're gonna go there, and they're gonna have like multiple phases that you're just gonna go and kill these waves of bosses. It feels like it's gonna be similar to Oblivion Pillar, and the greater the danger, the greater the rewards. We already know that. Then you're also gonna have the split shrine, that this one is gonna distort reality, and the monster will split into perfect duplicates. So there's gonna be a lot of mobs, and well, pretty much. Let's see. I just want to see like what are the actual rewards. If it's gonna be like something unique, it's gonna be a new resource. If it's what is it? What is it? Is there any purpose to actually even go and try to chase these shrines, right? Because if it's guarantees, an instance, or a legendary gear per day, I mean, thumbs up. It's kind of nice. If not, I don't know. Let's see. This says here that it's gonna be these shrines will appear rarely and without warning. So pretty much everywhere, and the shrines themselves are visible to all the players, but the monsters triggered by them are exclusive to your team. To preserve the stability of the shrines, effects are balanced with the intention of not being overwhelming the battlefield. I mean, I'm excited. Every time there is something new inside a game, I'm excited for it, but I hope that in the future they add like something a bit more meaningful. Last adjustments, we're gonna have Eliquarian raid drops and changes. So basically, you're gonna have that, the items are not gonna drop on top of the portal like usually it does. So maybe just whenever they're gonna jump, it's gonna be more spread out. It's because a lot of times what happens, like people are catching and collecting the remnants, and collecting like the demonic remnants remains or the items on the floor, and then poof, they just click on the portal and they leave. It's pretty funny. Then we have here the news Hero's Journey. The chapter 5 and 6 is also coming. And of course, well, if you guys still didn't like and subscribe, please do, because this took me a lot of time. There is a lot of things coming into the game. I am very excited, but also at the same time, I'm like, they are literally just coming up with a lot of quality of life, a lot of features, a lot of systems are getting, you know, redone. But then in a selfish way, I'm looking at my routine inside the game and I'm like, okay, there is actually no new contents or new activity or new grind or new progression system that I'm gonna, you know, spend time inside the game to farm or grind. I wish I had seen like some ancient gear changes, make it farmable, make it more fun, maybe an extra piece coming into the game. I feel like they absolutely need to add something in the game, especially for the veteran players, to give them something else to do. Regardless, I think it is a big W update. I never seen such a big drop. Definitely trying to fix a lot of like the core issues of the game. Hopefully it's gonna make it better, but the only thing that I think it is lacking, it is that, you know, extra content for me to actually go and change it and give that 10 out of 10. So for now, if I have to give an evaluation, I'm gonna have to give it a 9 out of 10, because I was hoping to see something like new, but well, maybe next time. So boys, thank you for watching, and I got you guys on the next video. Peace.